The apostolic admonition, be steadfast, unmovable. The writer of Hebrews says, everything that can be shaken will be shaken. Those things which cannot be shaken may remain. Wherefore, receiving a kingdom which cannot be moved, let us have grace by which we may serve God acceptably with reverence and godly fear. In a world where our governments are being shaken, in a world full of revolution and bloodshed, in an economic system that is wavering and being shaken, in an educational system that is wavering and being shaken, these institutions are being tried, and they are being weighed, and they are being found wanting. Our political system is being weighed in the balance. Guess what? Found wanting. Our marriage institution is being weighed in the balance and found wanting. Our church institution, who needs church today? With everything else that's available to us. Our church institution is being weighed and is found wanting. I believe the handwriting of God is on the wall, and it is reading, the world is being weighed in the balance and found wanting. In Daniel's day, he was steadfast and unmovable. In Daniel chapter 5, Belshazzar, the king of Babylon, had a great feast. They were having a huge wingding. They were having this incredible party. No cares, no concerns, dancing the night away, as they would say. And all of a sudden, out of the sleep of night, comes the audacious hand of God and the writing on the wall. And like words of fire jumping off the wall, I can almost hear the crackling like thunder and lightning. The hand of God begins to write on the wall. The king is concerned now. He calls for his astrologers. He calls for the diviners, the soothsayers. And he wants to know what the writing means. So he calls all of these knowledgeable men, all the magicians, they come in to interpret the writing on the wall. Well, this is the commentary by Robert Henry. I have a right to write a commentary. Everybody else does. Here's what I think. I think all the king's men were scared. I think they knew what the writing on the wall said. But they also knew this, that in that day the king had the power to decide whether you live or die. Just like that. No questions asked. So if the king doesn't find favor in you, you're a dead man. That's simple. So I think the king's men were scared. They didn't want to tell the king what the writing said. You're in fear of their lives. All of a sudden the queen says, I know a man. I know a man who is faithful in the kingdom. I know a man who is favored by his God. He interpreted many dreams. He interpreted many of these sayings for King Nebuchadnezzar. Call Daniel. He'll tell you what the writing on the wall says. You know, Daniel could have told the king anything he wanted to. That's right. King would have known. That's right. He could have told the king exactly what the king wanted to hear. The king would have taken good care of him. Daniel knew that he went in before the king, that his life was in jeopardy, that he was at risk. I submit to you today that it wasn't so much whether or not Daniel could interpret the writing on the wall as it was, would he interpret the writing on the wall? Would he be faithful? Would he be truthful? Would he tell the king, in spite of the adversity, in spite of the danger to his very life, would he tell the king the truth? Guess what? The devil whispered in Daniel's ear. You've heard it before. Oh, Daniel, be careful now. Be real careful here. This could be your day. Anything you want, the king's going to take care of you. So be careful, Daniel. Don't make any mistakes here. Oh, Daniel said, oh, devil, guess what? This is my day. This is my day. and I'm going to go stand before the king, and I'm going to interpret the writing on the wall, and I'm going to stand steadfast. I'm going to stand unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, and I'm going to tell the truth as Daniel has always done. Bless God. Daniel did. God has numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Thou art weighed in the balance and found wanting. And before the day was through, that king was dead. Belshazzar was dead. And the Medes and the Persians took over the kingdom. Daniel wasn't made in the moment that he read the writing on the wall. You and I are not made in the moment. We have to prove ourselves faithful to God over the small things, over the little things. When God calls us to do something for Him, it's not can we do it, it's will we do it. The can do is up to God. There's a lot of things I cannot do. But if God calls me, it is my job, it is my responsibility to respond to God and say to Him, I will. Not I can. In most cases, I can't. Paul said this, I can do all things through Christ. Through Christ. That's the key. Who strengthens me. So it's not a matter of can I do it? When God calls me, I need to be willing to say, God, I will do it. I will go and leave the can-do up to Him. Because we are not made in the moment. God tries us. God tests us. We've got to be unwavering, steadfast, like that of Daniel.